you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's Workshop. You know I love it when you drop in the shop, and I'm glad you're here today because I'm going to start a new project for the plow on my Massey Ferguson GC 2300 subcompact awesome tractor. What I want to do is I want to try and make my plow on the tractor into a snow pusher. But the trick here is that whatever I put on the ends of the plow to turn it into a snow pusher, they have to be easily removable, because there's times when I use my plow and I don't want it to be a snow pusher. I want it to be a plow so I can angle it and the snow would roll off like a normal plow would. So that's the challenge. I got an idea how I'm going to go about doing that. So I want you to come along and watch and let me know what you think. All right, here's my blade, and right now it's on the tractor. It's angled to the left. So that means when I'm plowing, the snow curls up in the front of the blade and it rolls and falls off this side, right? And as long as I'm plowing in a lane or plowing like a passage, that's not bad. But when I'm plowing an open space, I don't want any snow to fall off these edges. So here's my thought. I just have a piece of cardboard here. I'm going to use this as a kind of a pattern. I was thinking if I could put something on here, even maybe the same size as that cardboard, and something on the other side to do the same thing, then that would contain the snow in front of the blade, right? And then in order to hold this end in so that it doesn't get pushed out, because I expect there's going to be a lot of pressure come on it, I have some pipe here, and I was just going to crush the end down and make a flat spot on each end, and then maybe drill a hole up here, connect that pipe to that, and then it would come off the top of the blade down to the corner of the wing, and that would support the wing so that it wouldn't break off. So that means I don't need a whole lot of massive attachment paraphernalia in here. Paraphernalia, you like that word? I'm only going to build this out of wood to try it. So rather than go out and buy some sheet metal or steel and, you know, spend a lot of money on that and then find out that this is a crazy idea. So I've taken my cardboard, made a kind of a template, rounded this edge and the front edge, and then just sort of tapered the front down. I'm not sure if that's going to be the final product, but and then I'd like it to fit in here about like that. I don't know, maybe I could put it lower. Anyway, we'll see about where that goes. So that might work, eh? All right, that's step one. Step two, how are we going to get it attached here? Well, I was thinking of putting angle iron on here. Let's drill a hole in the blade. I don't know that I want to drill a hole in my blade. I don't mind drilling a hole in these ribs, but I don't know about the blade. So just as a trial, and it could end up being what I use, I cut some blocks of wood. This block is 1 7/8 wide because the distance between this rib and the edge of the blade is 1 7/8 of an inch. So I was thinking I'd put one down here and one up here. But like they rock a little, I'd like them to be really solid on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it out here and just trace the shape of the blade. So I traced that on there. You see it's a bit of an arc. So what I'm going to do is take that on my belt sander now and try to form this cove in there, right? To see if I can get it to fit tight against there without any rocking. Alright, so I put a piece of wood here, 3/4 of an inch thick, to set this wing on, right? So the wing would be about even with the bottom of the scraper blade here. So I took my blocks here, 2 of them, and I rounded the faces of them so they would fit against the profile of the blade. And now I'm thinking I can put that one there and that one there. If I put some screws through this side to hold the blocks in place, then I could drill a through hole right through the hole through this rib, through the block, and through the wing, and then I could just put a pin in there and pin it. Alright, we changed things around a little bit, brought the tractor, turned it around, brought it in face first here, because I need to get this piece of pipe, this is the pipe I'm going to use as a support for in here. So I have to figure out how long to cut it. So what I was thinking is where that's bent, I was going to fasten that on there, right, and that would give that support. But I thought if I hooked it on right here, because that works out to be like this top of the blade of the mold board here is folded back, and that goes on there pretty good and ended up lining up there. So That looked pretty nice right like that. But I'm thinking as the snow builds up, it's going to try and push this out. That's why I need this bar. So watch what happens. If I put that on there like that, and if I were to pin that in the middle, I don't know whether you can see that, but it kind of pivots around where it's connected, if it were connected here in the moldboard. So I'm thinking if I go over further, which I can do, all I have to do is change the angle of that, then instead of pivoting, it would try to pull down on it. And because I'm going to have that pinned, it wouldn't pull down. So I think I'm going to move in on the top of the moldboard here a little bit. If I come over 10 inches from the edge of the moldboard. So yeah, see, that goes on there good. That goes on there good, and it lines right up with the moldboard. Man, oh man. I must be doing something right. I need to cut this at least that long, right? Because I'm going to be flattening this out, and I'll run around over that corner a little bit. And I have to flatten it back to about here. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, to be frank. So I put marks here and here because that's where the edges, like those edges, should line up. So that means if I put it in there like that, it should work out. All we can do is try, right? Like I say, I've got lots of these tubes. One thing, it's easy to bend it. Right, I think that's bent enough to try it, so let's see how she fits. Okay, so this looks like it's going to fit there pretty good, eh? I think that's going to hold it good and tight. I'm not exactly sure how I want to attach these wooden blocks. I don't know whether I want to attach the wooden blocks to the wing or attach them to the blade. I don't know that I want them on the blade all the time, so it'll probably attach them to the wing. But anyway, it's just, all this is just a trial, right? This is just a prototype. Okay, here's what I have for my wings. You might recognize this. This is a piece of countertop that we put in the kitchen, and I had to cut this out to put the sink in. And of course, I save everything, right? With this nice smooth arborite surface on it, maybe that'll help shed the snow a little, I don't know. But the main thing is, this is big enough, proper size, so I can get two wings cut out of it. It's already got the angles on the corners, eh? Like, it's tailor-made for this job. Okay, so I just finished cutting my wing pieces here in half, and the idea is that I put one on top of the other. Then I put this pattern on top, and then I just marked out the line there. So I have that marked on the top piece. I'm going to tape these together and take them to the bandsaw, and then I'll make this cut so that they'll both be cut at the same time. Alright, so here at the bandsaw, and I got my pieces with the line marked on them. I'm just going to cut, see how we make out here. Well, as usual, you know, when you start a project, you start making cuts. Well, I cut my piece of countertop in half, but I was supposed to make one a mirror image of the other, and I didn't. So I ended up with, I wanted to have them so that this arborite side was inside, so the snow would beat against that instead of against the particle board. Well, because I cut them both the same, it didn't quite work, so I painted the inside of this one with the gray enamel. I don't know how good that's going to work, but anyway, it's just a prototype, this, right, to see if this concept will work. So having them, you know, not being mirror images is not a mortal sin, I don't think. Also, because the way I'm setting it up here on the plow blade, I'm only going to have to drill 3 holes in my actual plow blade, and none of them on the moldboard surface. So it shouldn't affect the operation of the plow at all. So, you know, that's one good thing too about having this prototype. So anyhow, because of all that, I had to turn my plow around and make some more layouts so that I could set this wing on the right side of the plow. So it's going to go on the plow this way. The plow will be in here, and then the snow will build up on this, right? So we're going to relay out all the places here and start drilling some holes. So let's get at that. So I had to take my brace. Luckily these braces, they're interchangeable one with the other. And I have this 3/4 inch piece of wood on the floor. So this is going to go just like that. And my brace is going to connect on it out here. I'll set this in place. So this is what it's going to look like. And this is at right angles in here. And then I have my blocks of wood that I have, I've cut these out with the concave in them. And they're going to go at the back to support the back corner of the plow. Okay, so I have my brace bolted on here. So now this brace comes up here on the mold board pretty good. So now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole through here and through the mold board. And then I can bolt that up there, and then I can lay out where my blocks will go at the back, and I'll show you that when I get there. Down here, the profile of the mold board kind of bumps out there, down here at the bottom, because that's where the scraper blade fits in. So I want this block to sit right on the top of that, but not on it, but just on the top of it. So, actually I'm going to loosen this one off up here. To make sure I can get that there. As I'm sliding that down, I can feel as it starts to move out over that bump out. So that's where it's going to go right there. There we go. So now what I'd like to do is I need to drill a hole through the wing, through the block, and through the rib. And my drill bit's not long enough to do all three of them at once. So I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to fasten just with wood screws, 2 wood screws in this block to hold the block to the wing, because I don't want the block to stay on the blade when I take the wing off. So I'll put 2 screws through here, and then I'll drill a pilot hole down through here and make a mark on the rib. And then once I get the hole drilled in the rib, then I can drill out the hole on the block in the wing. There we go. I don't want to strip them, I just want to put them in so that they're tight. Now we're going to put this top piece in. I want to make sure I'm well into this rib. Now I'm going to drill this through here until I hit the rib, just to make a mark on it. Alright, we're going to try that. I think I was in far enough to make a mark. So we're going to take that off of there. And take this off of here. And then that should remove. And yes, there's my mark. So we're going to set that on there. Now what I have here is a 3/8 bolt. Hopefully that'll fit through there. I wonder why it doesn't line up here. There she goes. And once again, this is just a prototype, right? So I'm hoping that I'm just going to have pins in here, so I don't have any like wrenching to do to put these wings on. Just put them on with pins. But anyway, I'm going to tighten these up. You know, I had this other block cut thinking that I would put it up here, but I don't know that I'm going to need that. I think I probably will need it up here, now that I think about it a little bit, because if there's any kind of pressure comes to the tip of this wing, it's liable just to fold that right back, because this brace is not very strong right here where I have the flat part, so that would probably just fold right up. So I think having the other one up here would tend to keep this wing like in its proper orientation like now, and then this brace, its only job then would be to keep the wing from flipping out. From from spreading out on the side. So that can go right there. Okay, we got the other piece on there, and the hole drilled. Just have to see now if the bolt fits through. And there's two of them to line up here now, don't forget. That's where it gets tricky. This ain't gonna work too good, I can tell that, just by the sounds of it. Alright, I guess it's gonna work good after all. Alright, so now we put our bolt in up here again. Snug that down. Put our pieces on here. Okay, I like that. I think that's going to work good. But what I'm going to do now is I only have enough hardware to put this one wing on. So I'm going to try this one. I'm going to go out and do a little plowing. I'll take it off. I'll do a little plowing. And then I'll put it on as I'm plowing the landing and just see. With this one wing on, it should just pile the snow up here and not spill it out on this side. That's my goal, right? To reduce the windrows. So let's go try and do a little bit of plowing. I got some plowing done here. So along beside the Bronco, and then down here by the fire pit. And I'm just getting ready now. I'm going to put the wing on. I'm going to put the wing on the right side because that's the only one I have made. And then I'm going to plow off this landing, and that's what I'm looking for, to see if I can plow this landing, cut down the trips on plowing the landing, so that that wing should hopefully hold the snow on the blade and only let it come off on the left hand side, so then I can control the windrows better. See, as I plow here, there's a windrow forms right along there, and there's another one just to the right of it, and that's what I hope to eliminate. It'll work better with two wings, mind you, but hey, I only have one, so that's all I'm going to try. Okay, now the wing's going to go on here, but I got the snow build up there, so we'll clean the snow off. I'm going to need a hammer. Okay, let's give this thing a whirl. The biggest problem is going to be getting these bolts in here, I think. Well, maybe it's not going to be the biggest problem. They went in like it was built for it. Well, it was. The whole idea of this wing, I think anyways, would be to make it super simple to put on and take off. So if this proves to be success, then we'll have to come up with a quicker way to get it installed, right? All right, that went on pretty easy, really. I hope it works. Let's try it. All right, we're going to take a cut now with the tractor. Hopefully there'll be no windrow on the right hand side. I'm going to try and keep the blade straight just to test it. And I should come right up past here, and I'm going to push it down over the bank. So. So there's not a lot of snow away, so it's maybe not a really good test, but so far I like it. There's absolutely no snow falling off the right hand side. So I just wanted to stop here for a quick minute with some snow on the blade and see what it looks like. So check this out. You know, it's piling up good against the wing, but the wing is not deflecting in any way. It's staying good and solid. So I was afraid that maybe, you know, the way it's anchored at the back might not support it too good, but I think it's going to work out all right. And I don't even know if I need to make those wings out of metal or not. That red brace that I put in there is working quite well. There's a fair amount of snow there on the blade, and you see it's just starting to spill out over the front of the wing there just now, right? So I kind of like that. Hey, I'm pretty impressed with that wing. Holy smokes. Even with just the wing on the one side, it made a big difference plowing off the landing. Now mind you, I didn't have a pile of snow out there, right? So maybe it's not a really good test. But you know, you could see the snow building up in the wing and it wasn't falling off on the right hand side, but it was falling off on the left hand side. The concept is sound. It stays on there nice and solid. It's steady as a rock on there. I like it. And it's going to make a big difference being able to make a snow pusher out of my blade, and having those wings come on and off the blade right easy and quick. That's going to be a big plus too. So I'm glad, like everything about this job I've liked it so far. So thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of my wing. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think making a snow pusher out of a blade is a good plan? Or do you think this is going to be fun for a little while till it breaks and then it'll be just something that's hung in the shed and never ever used again? It might happen, right? I want to thank everybody for watching my channel for all these many years, and for all my new subscribers, and for all you viewers that watch religiously throughout the year. It's just fantastic that I have so many wonderful new friends on YouTube. I don't know what I'd do without you, so thanks very much for that. Take care, folks. Thanks a lot. Have a great New Year's Day, and we'll talk to you soon.